This is not just a love story. It's the story of a village girl who gave everything, her heart, her time, her little savings, all for the man she loved. When he had nothing, she became his strength. When the world turned its back, she became his light. But when success finally found him, he forgot the one who built his tomorrow with her tears. And when fate came knocking, it made sure the world would remember the village girl's sacrifice. A story by Queen Daniel. In the bustling heart of Lagos, where dreams rise with the smoke of yellow buses, Ola and Amaka met. They were young, full of hope, and madly in love. Ola was a final-year university student who dreamed of becoming an engineer. Amaka worked part-time at a small restaurant, serving food to office workers and students who barely noticed her except Ola. To him, she was sunshine in human form. Their love was pure, the kind that made people smile when they saw them together. Every evening, they would sit under a mango tree near the student hostel, sharing roasted corn and stories about their future. One day, Ola would say, "I'll build a big house, and you'll never have to work again." Amaka would laugh softly. "Just don't forget me when that day comes." But dreams are fragile in the hands of poverty. Ola's family was poor, and the little support they got came from his sister's husband, a man who had been paying Ola's school fees and helping the family survive. But one dreadful evening, Ola came home to find his mother crying. His sister's husband had divorced her and cut off all support. Everything collapsed. Days turned into weeks of hunger. Ola sold his phone, his shoes, and even his mattress just to pay his tuition. He tried to hide his pain from Amaka, but she saw through his fake smiles. She began sending him small amounts of money she earned from following her father to the farm back in the village. "Take it," she'd insist. "You must finish your education." Her love became his lifeline. He promised to repay her someday, but she only smiled and said, "I just want to see you succeed." When Amaka's parents could no longer survive the rising cost of living in the city, they packed their belongings and returned to the village. Ola begged her to stay, but she had no choice. They hugged for a long time at the bus park, tears in their eyes. "I'll write you," he said. "I'll never forget you." But time has a way of testing promises. From the village, Amaka kept sending him money whenever she could. She sold vegetables, palm oil, and even her favorite earrings to support him. And with each sacrifice, Ola moved closer to his dream. When he finally graduated, she sent him her last savings to help him travel for his job interview. "You're my biggest blessing," she wrote in her letter. But Ola never replied. Years passed. Ola became one of the most respected engineers in the oil industry. He wore expensive suits, spoke fluent English, and drove cars that turned heads. But with his success came pride and amnesia. He deleted old memories like they were stains on his new life. One afternoon, while inspecting a site in Lagos, he met Amaka by chance. She had come to the city to sell palm oil to a distributor. Her wrapper was faded, her hands rough from farming, but her smile was still the same. "Ola," she said softly. "It's me, Amaka." He looked at her coldly and laughed. "You? You're still the same. Still poor. You belong in the village, Amaka. Not in my world." She stood there, frozen, her eyes glistening. "So this is who you've become?" she whispered. He turned and walked away, leaving her heart in pieces. Months later, Ola's company sent him to a remote village for an oil exploration project. Ironically, it was Amaka's village. The engineers tested several locations, but the readings from one farmland were extraordinary. There was crude oil beneath the soil. It was Amaka's father's land. News spread fast. The company sent their managing director, Mr. Johnson, to oversee the deal. Mr. Johnson was a wealthy, kind-hearted man in his early 40s, respected by all. When he met Amaka, he was struck by her intelligence and grace. She spoke with confidence, asking wise questions about the project, about how the company would help the community. He admired her courage. Over time, he began to visit her more often. They spoke for hours about life, dreams, and fairness. Slowly, affection grew. Mr. Johnson saw not just a village girl but a queen in disguise. Mr. Johnson asked for Amaka's hand in marriage. Her family, shocked yet overjoyed, accepted. It was like the universe had remembered her tears and turned them into diamonds. The wedding was grand, not loud or showy, but dignified. Ola heard about it but didn't know the groom was his boss. He laughed bitterly when he heard the name Amaka Johnson, another village girl married to an old man for money. He scoffed, but destiny wasn't done with him yet. When Amaka moved to the city with her husband, the company staff organized a surprise party to welcome the new couple. The office was decorated with lights, laughter, and music. Everyone was excited to meet their new madam. Ola was one of the coordinators, eager to impress his boss. When the door opened and Mr. Johnson walked in with his bride, the room fell silent. Ola's hands went cold. He blinked once, twice, then froze completely. Standing beside his boss was Amaka. For a moment, time stood still. Amaka looked at Ola, her expression calm but unreadable. Mr. Johnson smiled proudly. "Everyone, meet my wife, Mrs. Amaka Johnson." The staff erupted in cheers. Ola forced a smile, but his chest was heavy with shame. Throughout the party, he avoided her eyes, but she was radiant, graceful, confident, and commanding respect. Every word she spoke showed wisdom. It was hard to believe this was the same girl he once mocked. Later that night, Mr. Johnson asked his wife, "You looked uneasy when you saw that young man. Do you know him?" Amaka smiled faintly. "Yes, he was once someone I prayed for every night." Her husband nodded slowly, sensing the story behind her words. Days later, during a board meeting, Mr. Johnson announced his retirement plans. "I've chosen someone I believe will lead this company with both skill and compassion," he said. Everyone turned to Ola. He had worked hard and was confident the position was his. But then the boss turned to Amaka and said, "This is my choice, Mrs. Amaka Johnson, our new deputy managing director." The room exploded in applause. Ola felt his world crumble. He could barely breathe as he watched the woman he once belittled rise higher than he could ever imagine. After the meeting, he waited for her in the parking lot. "Amaka, please?" "I'm sorry," he stammered, tears in his eyes. "I was foolish. I didn't see your worth." She looked at him, her voice gentle but firm. "Ola, it's not your apology I need. It's your lesson. Never look down on anyone because of their condition. The same soil you despise might be the ground your destiny will kneel before." Years later, people across the company spoke about Madam Amaka Johnson, the woman whose kindness changed their lives. She built schools in villages, sponsored girls to university, and gave jobs to widows. Ola remained in the company, humbled, working under her leadership. Every time he saw her, he remembered the girl who once farmed just to feed him. And in quiet moments, Amaka would sit by her window, look at the stars, and whisper, "Thank you, God, for turning my pain into power." Because in life, destiny never forgets the one who gives with a pure heart. And sometimes the person you look down on might be the one holding the key to your tomorrow. A story by Queen Daniel.